Hey guys, it's Sarah from Just My Typewriter, and guess what? It's Just My Typewriter's 4th birthday. So I actually posted the first video, video on this YouTube channel on November 28th, 2018. This channel is 4 years old. So I thought today we'd sit back and relax, wear our flannel pajamas, drink your selected hot beverage, today mine is orange tea, and sit down and go through some of the highlight videos from the channel, some of the major turning points in content, and just kind of react to them as we go along. So I've made myself a little playlist, and I will also make this available to you. I'll link it down in the description below in case you want to go through and watch some of these videos. These are the big changes in the channel along the way, some of my big repair jobs, and I wanted to talk a little bit about the channel and how I ended up here. So Just My Typewriter actually started as a school project. In 2018, I was in the master's program at my university. I was getting a master's in strategic communication, and I had to take some classes on media production within that program. Now, my background is media production. I did TV shows, I did documentaries, all for the college TV station. So doing a media class was really not that scary to me. What I needed to figure out was a niche to make all that content in. A few months prior to the class, I got my first ever typewriter in September of 2018, and I thought, hey, maybe I could turn this into this class project. I have to make 2 or 3 videos, a couple podcasts, and a website. I can make that about typewriters. And then after I did that, I kind of just never stopped, and it's grown into this little project today. I'm now going to unceremoniously plug in my headphones that are really tangled so that audio is easier later. So this is my first video here on YouTube. I released this on November 28, 2018.
So this is an electric typewriter that we found here in the comm department at IUP, and unfortunately it doesn't work. Now it does turn on when you plug it in, but nothing happens when you actually press down on the keys. I've read through the manual. There's nothing I can do to fix it without tearing it apart. So today Donald and I are going to be ripping apart this electric typewriter. Yep, there she is. Yep, it turns on. Yeah.
It's making a sound.
Yeah, it does.
What's so funny about this is I had zero knowledge or experience at this time, so I had no idea what I was doing. I was kind of making it up as I went along. I hadn't seen any Phoenix typewriter videos yet. I had never worked on a typewriter before. This was my first experience with anything typewriter repair, and we didn't actually fix it during this video project. I went in later and did another video where I just had to clean out the bottom of the typewriter to get the keys to work on it properly. But I didn't know any of that when I made this video.
So what we're gonna do is tear it apart and see what it looks like on the inside. Also, her name is Jan.
Her name is Jan. What is it? Righty tighty, lefty loosey? I always forget.
Something like that.
Okay, here we go.
Who's Lucy?
Cringy joke. Cringy joke. When we started making these video projects, we were getting feedback from professors we were making them, and one of the things he had mentioned to us was to make all of our thumbnails look the same for every video to keep a style consistency, and to also make all of our videos under 5 minutes. So the first few videos on my channel were all under that 5-minute mark. And I think the first 3 or 4 videos on this channel were all for that class, so they were edited specifically to meet those kind of standards. And then I went outside of the box after we got through the first couple weeks of that semester. So this is my first ever vlog for the channel. I tried to do a couple of these early on and nobody was really interested in them. I've since kind of turned that into a different series, Thrift Trip, here on this YouTube channel. These were my first ones, and they're kind of funny to go back and watch now. They're edited to be so short and I barely show anything. But it was winter break and we were driving a friend to Pittsburgh. We hopped into my car, the Maroon Marauder, and headed out to Pittsburgh to do some thrifting and to pick up a Craigslist typewriter.
I love that.
I'd be so afraid of this thing blowing up.
Hey everybody, this is Just My Typewriter. We're here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, doing our very first Craigslist typewriter pickup. Now the guy said it's a Royal typewriter from somewhere in the 60s or 70s, and he's asking $25. He has no idea on the condition, so we're meeting at Delaney's coffee shop, and we're gonna see how it goes. Wish us luck.
So that's Dawn. That's me with a very short haircut. And then the other person there is our friend Alec, who came with us that day to go out to this coffee shop and pick up this little Royalite portable typewriter. We still had no idea how typewriters worked at this time.
Cool though, this leather case thing that it's got going on.
Yeah, okay. So it's not, it is in QWERTY.
It's beautiful. I already love it.
Okay, well.
It's so tiny.
I don't like this.
Yeah, well, that's what I want you to do.
This is filmmaking.
So there you go.
I hate it.
It's too bad. Put it more on yourself.
Okay.
Okay.
Like that?
So I guess we should talk now, right?
About
I don't know.
typewriters.
All right.
So Alec had zero interest in typewriters, really was just with us for a ride home. And then by the end of the video, he had written on a typewriter and wanted to be up front and center in the outro of the video. So he and I switched seats so you could see him in the outro of this video. That was a really fun one. We had filmed that in December and I didn't release it until March 2019. So there was a long span of time where I just wasn't making content because I didn't know what I was gonna do with it yet. Let's go into my first restoration project.
Hey guys, it's Sarah from Just My Typewriter, and today I'm here with an ancient, old and decrepit royal typewriter that is in desperate need of a clean and some fixin'.
Fixin'. I have never said that word before in my life. This was the first project that I'd ever done like a real repair restoration on something, and I did rewatch this recently and go back and give some new repair advice. So if you're interested in that, I'll link that down below as well. But this was my first like big restoration project, and that was my Royal Victory model from the 1930s. That was my grandfather's typewriter. So that was a fun project and my first ever repair video. And then I got into doing historical research on typewriters, and I made one of my favorite videos that nobody else ever seems to watch, and that's a video called Typewriter Cheesecake.
Hello typewriter fanatics, and welcome to my TED Talk. So I was searching through Instagram and I found a hashtag that I was unfamiliar with. And this hashtag was called #Typewriter Cheesecake.
It's so funny to watch these back now because I don't approach videos in the same way. But what I do really like about this video is you can see my setup here. I was in front of that gray screen in the background of my school's production room, and I have this green chair that appeared in a lot of the videos from this time period on my channel. I love this green chair. This green chair was just like this amazing olive green color. It was just a comfy leather chair, and I put it in every single video because I was kind of obsessed with it. I really like chairs, and when I left school, I wanted to take this chair with me. In fact, I had a team of interns willing to help me put this chair into a pickup truck, which I had borrowed on 2 different occasions. And I just chickened out both times. I was afraid they wouldn't give me my degree if I stole a chair from the production room. And it kind of inspired me to get this chair, which I love and got for $10 on Facebook Marketplace and didn't have to steal. But all of these videos were under 5 minutes or around that 5-minute mark because I still had in my brain that people wouldn't watch longer YouTube videos. And then I decided to not do that. And it kind of opened up what videos I could make because I had a lot more time I could fill up with the YouTube channel. So this is my first video where I had a video longer than 5 minutes on my YouTube channel, or longer than that 5-minute mark. And it was an 11-minute video on collection curation. I talked about how to find typewriters, where to get them, things to consider. It was kind of like the pre-101 series on this YouTube channel. I had my friend Marcus focus the camera for me. Marcus and I had done a lot of projects before, and he didn't put it in focus, and the whole thing is fuzzy, but the content was so good, at least from my perspective, that I still wanted to turn it into a video. It's one of those videos that I actually go back now and cringe watching because it's out of focus.
It's Sarah from Just My Typewriter, and I want to talk to you guys today about curating your typewriter collection. And I should know a lot about it because I'm the crazy typewriter lady. So people who collect typewriters collect them for a lot of different reasons, and there's a lot of different ways to collect those typewriters and put them in your collection. I've been collecting typewriters for about a year now, and I have 16 different unique typewriters in my collection. I have everything from electric typewriters to portable machines, standard desk machines, and then I also have an IBM Selectric within my collection.
So this one was posted in February of 2020. That's crazy. This is pre-pandemic times, but like only slightly. I must have filmed this around Thanksgiving break or Christmas break because I don't think there was anybody in the building, and I'm definitely drinking a peppermint mocha during this video. That's the only reason I go to Starbucks. So it's so funny to think that far back. I was filming this, I had Marcus there help me set up, and then he left the room, and I just talked about curating your collection for probably an hour and turned that into an 11-minute video. This is probably one of the last videos I filmed in this space. Yeah, I think I filmed one or two more after this. And I think I also filmed a video with Marcus at the same time that testing a non-typewriter person on how they type. And that's my friend Marcus, but it's so funny to think that I released this in 2020. We jumped a full year between the Typewriter Cheesecake and the Typewriter Collection Curation video. I don't really remember what I did in between those. An advertisement on one of my videos. So this is my Qwerkywriter S first impression video. I got the Qwerkywriter S keyboard from my mentor for Christmas in that year. So that must have been 2019, and then I didn't release this video until July, because that's how my schedule seems to work. But I got this Qwerkywriter S keyboard, and this is my highest viewed video on my YouTube channel. I find that tech videos do really well on my channel. Anytime I'm talking about typewriter keyboards, I did a typewriter scam keyboard video. I also did the modern interpretations of a typewriter. I did some thermal label printers. All of those videos are really interesting to a different audience that's not just into antique and vintage typewriters. And I find that those videos tend to get much better traction, which is why you noticed an ad on the front of this video. Again, it's one of my highest viewed videos. Right now it has 23,000 views on it, which is not a lot for the internet, but a lot for me.
Hey there, it's Sarah from Just My Typewriter, and I'm here with a quick little unboxing and a first impressions of the Qwerkywriter typewriter keyboard. Boy, that's a mouthful. Established in 2014 as a Kickstarter campaign, Qwerkywriter Toys Inc. released their first iteration of this keyboard in 2015.
So a little bit of behind the scenes information on this one. I actually filmed this video on a typewriter stand with a piece of white poster board on top of it, because the first time I filmed this, all the footage was too dark and it looked wonky. I had filmed it in my room with a couple of lights, with some camera equipment I was borrowing from the school for like a year that they didn't know I had. I filmed it on the floor on the poster board and it just looked terrible, so I had to go back and refilm all this footage. Oh, I used a different typewriter keyboard and I had so much trouble getting it to attach to the Bluetooth.
I could not figure out how to connect this via Bluetooth on my device. Maybe I'm really stupid, but I just couldn't press a button and magically be connected. And this is what—
No, I'm definitely stupid. Okay, so that's one of my highest viewed videos, but there's quite a few videos on this channel that I put a lot of time and effort into that I love making that just don't make it here on the channel, that are probably too niche for anybody else to be really that interested in. And one of those videos, or a series of those videos, are anything that has to do with nail polish.
And I recently got a Royal Safari from
Wow, the audio on that's really sizzly.
It types in script and it's in this really cool—
So this is the second episode in my Mumble and Manny series, where I tried to find ways to shove nail polish and typewriters together into content. I also collect nail polish in addition to typewriters. It's something I've gotten into over the years. I actually started collecting nail polish around the same time that I got into typewriters, so they've kind of grown together. And I've been trying to think of ways to like merge my passions to make content that's interesting to me. One of the ways I thought of doing that was this Mumble and Manny series, and I loved making it. I enjoyed the scientific process of going through and swatching yellow nail polishes and testing them against my typewriter, but the rest of the internet didn't enjoy it. I found a lot of people who just didn't find it to be relevant. I got quite a few comments actually on my Instagram about there's no need to talk about nail polish and typewriters, and that's absolutely valid. So after a while I stopped making these kind of videos. Even though I have a lot of fun filming them, they're just not right for the audience that I have here on this channel, and that's totally valid. But this one I loved making. I tested like 7 different nail polishes and all these different light types. I just really enjoyed it. Now I found a way to kind of separate those two collections and those two hobbies, so now they're their own separate content. So another big trend on my channel has been Barbie typewriters. This is my first ever Barbie typewriter video before I even had a Barbie typewriter. Barbie typewriters are kind of specific to my type of collecting. I know other people in the community have them, but they're kind of my thing. So I made this first Barbie typewriter video in August of 2020, probably filmed it in May of 2020, and I released it out to the world, and I just talked about the history of the Barbie typewriter.
Hey guys, it's Sarah from Just My Typewriter, and I love—
I was wearing that sweater this morning.
I've tried toy typewriters, real ones, doll-sized typewriters, and I've even tried making my own cardboard typewriter, which was an epic fail. But there's one elusive machine that I'm constantly in pursuit of on eBay and Etsy and anywhere I can find it, and that is the Barbie typewriter. Now, not only is this Barbie typewriter awesome looking, it also happens to have a really cool function that makes it an Enigma machine.
I say here that the Barbie typewriter is an Enigma machine, and that's actually not accurate. At the time, I didn't understand that that was not accurate. I was just trying my best, but I did a little bit of research on the Barbie machine, and what it does is it uses alpha substitution in coding. So in a certain coding function, it'll type out gibberish letters, and in the decoding function, it just substitutes those letters out for the actual letters of the code. Now, I made several Barbie typewriter videos after this because someone watched this Barbie typewriter video on my YouTube channel, my friend Emma, again from Lychee Pink Planner, and she found a Barbie typewriter for me and sent it to me. And then she sent me another one. And then somebody else named Justin found a Barbie typewriter and also sent that to me. So I ended up with 3 Barbie typewriters in my collection, all from this first original video. I've never seen one in person in an antique store or thrift store, but I find them a lot on eBay, often listed in Europe, and I've been so grateful to be able to interact with people and get Barbie typewriters in my collection through the magic of the internet. What's also cool about this is because I make lots of Barbie videos on the internet about Barbie typewriters, I was also contacted by another YouTuber here on the platform called Singing Bananas, and he makes videos about codes and math and very intelligent things that I don't understand. But he actually contacted me through my email and asked if I would be willing to be a guest on his YouTube show in an episode about the Barbie typewriter and code breaking. So I got to interact with so many people on this kind of like weird little subsect of typewriter history, and that's why I like making the Barbie videos so much. They're so outlandish, they're so weird, and I always get a lot of cool connections because it's this strange kind of little niche area in the typewriter community, and it's where I've decided to build my kingdom, and it always connects me with some really interesting people. Let's see, the next one on this list is my trip to Chicago.
Hey guys, it's Sarah from Just My Typewriter, and I am so excited for today's...
Why am I doing that with my hands? I swear I'm not in the Illuminati. So in this video, I hopped on a train with my mom to Chicago to go to my first ever type-in. I was invited by Glenn, and I got to meet Lucas of Typewriter Typewriter Chicago. I'm still doing that. While I was out there, this was such a fun adventure and something I would never normally do, but I was really motivated by getting to meet other typewriter people. So this is the horseshoe curve. We actually went around the horseshoe curve, which is a curve where you can actually see the back of the train from the front of the train out the windows. You can actually see the entire train around that curve. It's actually kind of popular in train culture, the horseshoe curve, and it's near where I used to live, near Altoona, Pennsylvania. So it was really kind of cool to also take a train around the horseshoe curve. We used to go up there a lot and just watch trains go around the curve. It was cool to also be there to go around the curve myself on a train. Okay, so this shot's kind of cool. These are the stairs in Union Station. If you've ever seen the movie The Untouchables, this is that Union Station, the scene with the stairs. I didn't know that when we got there. I actually had my Olympia typewriter with me because I was trading it on that trip. I just took it out of the case in the train station and took photos of it on the staircase and then posted it on Instagram, and then Glenn told me after the fact, these are the stairs from that movie. So when I was leaving with my new Royal Safari, I also took some photos there on that staircase, and my mom filmed me doing that. But these are the actual stairs from The Untouchables, which is such a cool thing to have photos of my typewriters there and to have been there at Union Station in Chicago. So here's the beginning of something interesting. One of the bigger series on my channel, at least I have thought so, was my Buying a Bad Typewriter series. I did this in, I guess, November and December of 2021. I found a typewriter on Facebook Marketplace that looked like it was in a terrible state, and I asked my sister to pick it up for me, and then I went through the process of trying to repair and restore that machine. But that process took me about a year. And so by the time you guys saw these videos in November, I was almost done with it. But I had worked on it for about a year behind the scenes on this machine leading up to that point, taking it apart, cleaning it, figuring out what was wrong with it, repainting it, putting it back together. We were just at about the adjustment phase when I released the first video in this series.
Hey guys, it's Sarah from Just My Typewriter, and today I want to tell you why I bought
I look so
a
washed
Bad
out against that
Typewriter
gray
on
wall.
purpose.
This is also fun. I asked my sister to film some footage when she went to get this typewriter, and she got in the car with her friend and she didn't know what to do. She just vlogged it for me and then sent me the footage, and then had to wait a year to see what I did with that footage. But this project was like so outside of my realm of knowledge and understanding, and it took me so long to complete, but I am really proud of that complete series because it takes a project from beginning to end. It was a lot of work, and it's kind of interesting to see, you know, the first step in that project, which was this video that I actually had filmed in 2020 and released in 2021. What's next? What's next? Okay, here's another one.
Hey guys, it's Sarah from Just My Typewriter, and I'm back today from another adventure involving a typewriter. So a little bit
You
of
can tell my hair has gotten so much longer over the years because there's so much hair in that bun. Wow, I could get like TV on that. So this is my I took a typewriter to Disney World video, which was so fun. I've been looking for ways to integrate typewriters and not just make repair videos or cleaning videos, but to make typewriter content. And this was another way that I did that. I took a typewriter to Disney World, and my mom got yelled at by security for filming me. This video was so much fun. Now, a lot of my process is I will film videos in batches, and I will do that months before they're released. So this video right now that I'm filming in mid-October. You won't see this until late November. I like to film ahead of time. It gives me a lot of time to edit and finesse the videos and put them together and then release them to the internet. One of these videos, stuff like the Chicago video and the Disney World video, I want immediate reactions from them because I'm so excited. So I actually filmed this video and then finished putting it together in a week and then released it because I was so excited about what I had just done. This video was so much fun. I was just so nervous going into it, and then it turned out fine, and I was so glad that I did it because now I can say I have done it and I have proof on the internet. Let's see, is Diamond in this one? Probably. Oh, there's Puppy.
You left me with the mechanic for a week. How dare you?
Oh,
Sorry.
She's so cute. Okay, here it is, here it is.
And when I got up to the lady who was searching, I said, I know exactly what it is. I have a typewriter in my bag, and that's what set off the metal detector. And she said, can I just see it out of curiosity? She wasn't worried about what it was. She was just really interested in what I had in my bag. So I showed her my typewriter, and she said that I had made her day. So that made me pretty excited. And then I was allowed to just proceed into the park with a typewriter. Now, my mom actually was, I guess, more of a security threat filming than I was actually having a typewriter in my bag.
Are you recording?
I'm sorry? No.
So it wasn't that bad, but at the time we were so freaked out. We were actually worried about even posting this. My mom was worried. She was like, maybe you shouldn't post this. I don't want to get in trouble. It's fine now. We can laugh about it now. But at the time we were really freaked out. Just because I had a typewriter in my backpack in Disney World. Dior, that's fancy.
I know what you're thinking, and yes, I am wearing this outfit because my mom says it makes me look like Audrey Hepburn.
True story. So this is another one of the bigger videos on my YouTube channel. It's called I Sold 10 Typewriters, and I actually did sell 10 typewriters. This is another one of those videos that took me a really long time to get up the courage to film. I had done all this vlog footage along the way, but I was really afraid of telling people that I'd sold some of my typewriters and why I sold some of my typewriters. Something about it made me feel uncomfortable, especially because I was getting rid of some of the machines in my collection that I'd had for a while, and I didn't want people to be upset at me, and most people weren't, so it was fine. But it just took me forever to feel like I could film this video. And when I sat down and filmed it, it was actually like 40 minutes long edited because I spent hours talking about these machines and I had so much footage. The end result is about 40 minutes long, and it's something that I'm actually really proud of now because there's so much content there, there's so much to tell there, and I feel like it's really comprehensive. So I'm proud of this video now, but at the time I was really freaked out about even filming it. The next video I wanted to bring up here was my moving video. This is kind of the new transition into where I am content-wise. I moved with 30 of my typewriters. I have a new backdrop, a new set, and I don't have my typewriter assistant here with me. It's very different content-wise, but this is kind of like the new era of Just My Typewriter. Those are some of the big videos on my channel, at least from my perspective of where I got to change things or where I got to try new things. Things like my first repair video, things like my historical deep dives or my first ever vlog, the first ever video, big trips that I got to do like Chicago or Disney. To me, these are the videos that kind of epitomize like big changing points in my videos, and I really enjoy going back and being able to watch them and talk a little bit more about them. There's a lot of content on here, and I hope that there's something for everybody. That's my goal as a creator, but obviously there's tons and tons of videos on here, and some do better than others, and some are more fun to make than others. I think the video I had the most fun making was probably Probably some of these tech videos or like the label printer videos I think are really fun because you get to test something and people get really interested in that. But I also really like the videos where I get to do time lapses or edit things to music. I really enjoy the editing process of that. Some of the least fun videos for me to make are the ones where I'm worried about information being as accurate as humanly possible, or ones that I have to do a lot of editing with screenshots in. So the Facebook Marketplace videos, the OfferUp video, I hate editing them, but I really enjoy coming up with the jokes beforehand. But the editing process I just don't enjoy, which is why there's not a ton of them. Any of the repair videos I just really like to make and film the process because I think it's important, but I always worry when I put it out there somebody's gonna comment that I did something wrong, and I don't wanna disappoint anybody. The Type-a-Tune video is hands down my favorite restoration project we've done. The Monster 10 project was my least favorite project I've ever done just because it was so frustrating. I think the end result looks great, but the process that took so long, I did not enjoy. The Type-a-Tune video really only took me about 2 weeks, and I got to try all kinds of new things like using a drill press and epoxy, and I really loved that. The video was not shot the best ever, like stuff looks green for some reason, but I loved the process of working on that machine so much that I just really enjoyed putting that video together. I also feel like stylistically my videos have changed quite a bit. I used to be in a dark, dungy basement, and then I was in front of a gray bedroom wall, and now I have an exciting background behind me, and I much prefer this. Also, it hides all the flaws in my lighting very well. I also think my editing style has changed a lot. Sometimes going back and watching some of my old videos, there's these really large gaps of space where I'm just breathing, and I cut those out now. I get rid of them. I shorten it up. I do a lot of jump cuts. I think it just is faster and easier to watch because I'm just like not sitting there cringing over the space between words in my videos. And then I also added the dog into a lot of videos when I moved home, and I loved being able to do that. She would bark if I had her out of the room when filming, so I had to have her in the room with me, otherwise she'd go ballistic. And then she kind of became a character on my channel and an assistant, and just very helpful, but also very distracting. I'm slowly sinking. This chair is actually very comfortable. I have definitely taken a nap or two on this chair before. I might take one now. So that's an overview of 4 years worth of content here on Just My Typewriter. Just My Typewriter started out as a school project, and now it's turned into a little bit of a passionate obsession of mine on the internet. I've met so many cool people through it. I've done so many cool projects, got to go so many cool places. I've really enjoyed being here on the internet and sharing my experience with typewriters with you and growing just a really supportive and helpful community. And I really appreciate it. I get people who DM me all the time that say they watch my videos and it inspired them to get their first typewriter, or it help them pick out their first machine, and that makes me feel so happy that I can help you find something, because typewriters really helped me when I was trying to deal with grad school. I hope they help you in a similar fashion, and they're just something interesting and fun that you get to try and work with. If you're interested in more typewriter content, I do have some more videos on this YouTube channel. I've also linked everything I've talked about down in the description below, and I have an Instagram at just.my.typewriter, which I actually started before the YouTube channel. And I thank you all so much for watching, and remind you, you're just my typewriter. That's another thing. In my first couple of videos, I was told I had to have a call to action at the end of all my videos, and I hated asking people to subscribe. So I used to say, tag Tom Hanks in anything. If you post this video anywhere, tag Tom Hanks. I want him to adopt me. I'm no longer saying that because I really don't need to spam Tom Hanks with my content.